Hello, my name is Zuriel, and today I want to speak to you about Stan Lee. The three things that will be covered are Stan Lee's life as a writer, editor-in-chief, as well as his minor acting roles. Let's not forget his charitable works, and lastly his co-creation of the Marvel Universe. The reason I'm speaking to you about him is because Stan Lee has brought joy to millions over the past 50 plus years. Hopefully, by the end of my speech, you will come to understand how much he has done in our lives, whether making blockbuster movies to enjoy or creating a foundation to promote the arts. For my first main point, I will speak about Stan Lee's role in Marvel history. Stan Lee began his career as an office assistant for Timely Comics back in 1939. Through many trials and plenty of hard work, he eventually became the editor-in-chief of what is now Marvel Comics. By the late 1950s, with the help of artist Jack Kirby, the Fantastic Four was born, thus ushering in new comic book titles such as the Hulk, the X-Men, Thor, and Spider-Man. Later, through Marvel Studios, Stan Lee began to do cameos in his films, which spanned over the last 50 plus years. For example, between the 1950s and 1990s, Marvel Comics has created thousands of comics, whether based on main storylines or alternate realities, to produce more comics and entertain our readers. According to the book Excelsior, The Amazing Life of Stan Lee by Simmons and Schuster, he is a master storyteller that has lived this long, not for the money, but to make people happy. For my next point, Stan Lee has been idolized as the godfather of the comic book industry. So in 2010, Stan Lee helped to found the Stan Lee Foundation, a non-profit organization that helps to improve access to literacy, education, and the arts in the US. Aside from the SLF, he has taken part in several charities. For example, Stan Lee supported Operation Smile back in 2013. Stan Lee and several other celebrities, including Lucy Liu and Jared Padalecki, raised thousands for this endeavor. Also, according to the article, comic books have become legitimate teaching tools by Amy Blanchett. Stan Lee teamed up with Team Primetime to help students from low-income areas in LA to become more exposed to the art. For my final point, Stan Lee has helped create the Marvel Universe. Stan Lee alongside Jack Kirby have been the backbone of Marvel since the very beginning, always coming up with new ideas and concepts as well as new heroes. For example, back in July of 2010, Stan Lee unveiled a new series called The Super 7, where Stan Lee is the main character, finding aliens that crash landed right in front of him in the desert. According to the article, Stan Lee writes himself into his new venture by Brooke Barnes from the New York Times. It states that Stan Lee wanted to come up with new abilities for superheroes that have never been seen before. This kind of innovative thinking has brought Marvel to where it is now in the world. In conclusion, Stan Lee has lived an amazing life. He has brought his comics to life. He has taken part in his own works. He is helping to bring literacy through comics to the US. The reason why Stan Lee is such an amazing person is because bringing joy to millions is all he cares about. Marvel Comics has given life to a fandom that spans over the decades with enjoyment. Now to my audience, please take time and view a few Marvel films. You won't be disappointed. Hopefully now you understand why Stan Lee is what I chose to speak about. Thank you.